the show you can't ignore. Ray and Kevin diving deep into all things galore. Comic book, movie, sci-fi, and action thrill. Reviewing new TV shows, we keep it real, real. Reminiscing the Attitude Era, wrestling at its peak. Nostalgia from the 80s and 90s, memories we seek. Pineapples for our rings, a unique touch. Geek culture in our blood, we love it so much. Geek Blue forever, we love it so much. Geek Blue, where we talk about it all. From superheroes to wrestlers, we stand tall. Ray and Kevin, the dynamic duo in sight. Geek Blue, shining brighter, shining bright. Did you hear about Pluto? Let's messed up right. Geek Blue, taking you on a nostalgia flight. From movies to TV, we cover it all. Join us every week, we'll have a ball. Shuffle.
Hey,
Hello,
what's
Raymond.
happening?
It is December 12th, 2025, in the year of our Lord and Savior, James Gunn. And now, Raymond, you know what I bought
Yes.
around midnight, when it turned midnight, the stroke of midnight? You know what I purchased in the year
I have no idea.
2025? In the year 2025, at midnight, I purchased a brand new 2D Terminator 2 based video game
No, nice.
called Terminator 2D No Fate, where you play as Sarah, John, and Arnold. And it's awesome. It's like,
Yeah.
because the old Terminator 2 game, like we all love the arcade game back in the day,
Mhm.
but like the actual Terminator 2 game was absolute trash.
Yeah.
And this game is really, really good. I believe it's like $30 on digital if anybody out there wants to get it. If you're a fan of that stuff, it's pretty awesome. Not gonna
Nice. Yeah, I didn't know when it came out. I knew
Yeah.
sometime this week it came out.
lie. I saw a
Yeah,
lot of
cool.
promotional about it this week on Twitter, and then I looked it up, and it was like right after midnight. It just came out on Switch, so I grabbed it for that.
Oh, nice, nice. Well, we have one more week after this week of shows. We're taking off for Christmas break, just for 1 week. We'll come back New Year's, but we got some stuff to talk about before we take our break. And one of the big things we need to talk about is a show that I am in love with on HBO. I think a lot of people are.
Yep.
Ratings show is It Welcome to Derry. Blowing it out of the park every week.
Mm-hmm.
Before we get into the week's episode, talk about this Ingrid, who has been seen in this. She plays the psychiatrist who kind of works at the mental hospital, but she's been in the It series from the very first movie, from the second movie actually, where she kind of is staying in that apartment, and Beverly goes to the apartment, and she goes in the kitchen, undresses, and starts walking around all weird like a spider, kind of like a spider walk. Find out that she's possessed by Pennywise at that point, if it even is her. But she's been around since 1908. She is the daughter of the original Pennywise clown, which we found out for sure 2 episodes ago. But yeah, here's just a glimpse of what she looks like through time, from 1908 all the way up to 2016.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, the 2016 one probably Pennywise, but
Probably,
yeah,
yeah.
she was the daughter of Pennywise, the actual clown, Periwinkle. Great episode last week.
Mm-hmm.
Fantastic, probably the best episode of the series so far.
Which we say every week. Every week is the new best episode every single week.
Yeah,
it'll be interesting to
that's
see what the
outrageous.
finale does. But this show is hitting on all cylinders.
We see the origin of Pennywise, him in the carnival, at the traveling carnival in Derry in 1908, which is going to be the 3rd season of this show. They gave quite a bit away. We even show his abduction by Pennywise, who is trying to figure out how to trap kids to eat them. And he sees Pennywise, the dancing clown, performing at this circus and seeing all the children enamored by him, and starts hunting him, and decides that he wants to take on that persona. And that's where the Pennywise persona comes from the evil entity. And that was a whole like first 10 minutes of this episode. And then we get into the Black Spot Massacre, which is in the book, from the It book from 1983, 1980, whenever that book came out.
Yep.
It was a chapter of a flashback. There's a couple of flashback chapters, and that's what all these seasons of the show are going to end up being. And this is one of them. And the racists of the town go into this army barracks speakeasy / dancing hall for all the black troops on the base of this Air Force base in Derry. And they go in there trying to hunt down one of the guys who's wanted for murder that escaped prison. And they realize that he's hidden there. So they go down there with masks on, with guns, and tell all the other black people in the black spot to let them have this guy, and they'll leave everybody else alone. And of course, they're in an army barracks, so all the army guys come out with their guns blazing too and tell them, get the fuck out of here. And they feel like they have to retreat, so the white guys leave. And as they close the door, nobody inside can get out. And they start throwing Molotov cocktails inside. They start shooting off shotgun shells in through the windows, killing people immediately through the windows. And all hell starts to break loose. Literally, the place goes ablaze. And people start dying in front of you. Black people. The children are stuck in there too. Some of the kids from I guess they're not really the Losers Club, but you think of the Losers Club when you see kids in Derry going after Pennywise. And during all of this, Pennywise shows up because it's a big, huge massacre. And that's the thing about every 27 years with Pennywise, is that a big, huge event has to happen, almost like a human sacrifice has to happen to make him go to slumber for another 27 years. And he smells this and goes immediately to the black spot and starts just eating bodies. There's a picture of it right in the middle there, eating somebody, torturing the kids, torturing everybody. And there's a gruesome scene on the outside while the place is burning in the background where he meets up with Periwinkle, the daughter of the original Pennywise, and chops her husband's head straight off with an axe, which was brutal and gruesome. The Periwinkle goes and hugs Pennywise thinking it's her father, and just the menacing smile. It's also in the pictures there if you're on YouTube. The menacing smile that he has as he's being hugged. You're like, oh my God, she's gonna get her head ripped off, but she doesn't. He spares her up until the point where she realizes that that's not really my father, is it? No, that's fucking Pennywise, the evil entity clown. And he starts doing the dead eyes, the dead lights, and she gets lifted up in the air. If you've seen the movies, you've seen it, that's what happens when people see those dead eyes. And while this is all going on, and he said, I can go to sleep now. Everybody, I just massacred a whole bunch of people. Everybody's dead. Now I can sleep. I can rest for another 27 years and come back later when I'm hungry again. While that's all going on, inside everybody's burning. One of the most dramatic, traumatizing scenes of any show I've ever seen happens. And it's when a child dies. Spoiler for the next 30 seconds. But little Rich dies, and he's the smallest kid of the bunch of these loser kids. He ends up saving what's her name? Marge? I don't remember her name. But she's the one with the glasses who got her eye stabbed out. Yeah, she had her eye stabbed out, so she wore a eye patch. But he saved her, put her into a chest or a freezer or something, and laid on top of it so that the roof, if it collapsed, it wouldn't collapse on her. But he could keep her in there and keep her safe if something happened. But he ended up dying of smoke inhalation. Didn't get killed by Pennywise, but did die of smoke inhalation, and he was a big sacrifice of the Losers Club. But everybody, I think they said there were 17 people that died in the massacre in the black spot itself. So Pennywise goes to sleep. The other big part of this episode is the army. We haven't seen him in a couple episodes, but the army finally find this artifact, finally find this pillar on the outside of Derry, and they steal one of them. And they're this James Remare general guy is talking about how, from the beginning, talking about how they wanted to use Pennywise as a U.S. deterrent for war and all this and that. He was bullshitting everybody. That's not what he wanted to do. He wanted Pennywise. He wanted to use that power to stop very much, I hate getting political, very much reminiscent of what's going on in America now, making America great again, and not having women or black people or any minority pretty much rising out of poverty, out of down and outness. So he wants to use it to make everybody misogynist and sexist and racist, pretty much make America great again. And the black Hanlon, is it Hanlon? Yeah, Hanlon. He's one of the army members that's been throughout this whole entire series. The grandfather of Mike Hanlon, right? Or grandfather.
Yes. Yeah.
He decides to pull a gun on his commanding officer and tells him to release the pillar because they want to destroy the pillar.
Mhm.
They figure, we can release Pennywise in the world if we just open up the gate for him and release one of these pillars. And he's not able to stop him, and they destroy one of the pillars. As this is going on, Pennywise in his slumber wakes up. And this is him. It looks like he's almost in a grave full of blood of bodies and dismembered parts, but he's all covered up into his eyes, like this, like spot right here. And I don't know if my thing's loading or not because the fucking my thing's slow. It is okay. But yeah, he wakes up and he goes to the Hanlon kid, who is Mike's father, and he starts to make a phone call to him, telling him, he's talking as one of the other kids. And the last scene of this episode is that Hanlon kid being tormented by Pennywise on the phone, and then Pennywise shows up behind him on top of the refrigerator, jumps down, completely covered in blood except for the top of his face. Great visual picture of Pennywise. Great action figure of Pennywise when this ever comes out. Fantastic episode. Lots of. I've said from the very beginning of this season, this show has the potential of being the best HBO show ever made. And 7 episodes into an 8-episode season, maybe 3 seasons. I've heard it could be 4. I guess there's 4 parts of the book they could add at going back in time. I know that Machete said 3, but this could be the best show on HBO after everything is said and done. Surpassing a lot of expectations for this show, surprising how great it is. But yeah, it's blowing out a lot of people every week.
For some reason, a lot of people didn't want to give this show a chance because of the movie The Flash, which I get same director, but I don't see how those two things correlate because everyone loved.
I love The Flash,
and everyone loved the first It movie. And also the issues with The Flash weren't his fault. The direction was not an issue in that film at all. But yeah, it's been fantastic. I'm loving it. I can't wait for the finale on Sunday.
It sucks that the finale is on Sunday because this reminds me of the time of Peacemaker times where we were on such a high every week. I literally get done with work Sunday morning and I realize, oh shit, it's It Day. I get out of my work mode and the rest of the day from 9:00 a.m. until 9:00 p.m. it's like, fuck yeah, it's coming. But now that's all going to end on Sunday. But it'll be back hopefully next year or the year after.
We've had a good run on TV this year. We had a good run on TV.
We've had a great.
We got Peacemaker, obviously. Dexter, we both loved.
Oh, yeah.
Basically 2 seasons of Dexter within a year.
We did, yeah.
We've had some good. This is the 4th time this year I feel like we're it's over on Sunday.
Appointment television. Yeah, we haven't had that in a very, very long time.
And of course, you're watching Pluribus week to week. I like to go 2 episodes at a time, so I'm every other week. But that's another great show. That's going to be when that ends. Does that end next week?
No, that's got 9 episodes for Pluribus.
Oh, 9 episodes. Okay.
Which we're gonna talk about now.
Yep.
You haven't seen it.
Right.
Did you see the spoiler though from 2 episodes?
I don't see any spoiler from this show ever.
So you don't know. You don't know who showed up. You don't know anything about last week's episode.
Nope. Which I was going to watch last week, but I got busy doing things, and
it's okay. Kevin, what have you been busy doing, by the way? Playing Fort? Is that what we're saying? We're busy with
Fortnite and Breaking Bad. Okay. I've been
Breaking Bad.
My buddy's going through Breaking Bad for the first time, and that's a show where I've never been able to watch it with somebody and get their reaction as it's happening. So we watch 2 to 3 episodes of that every night. We just finished season 2 around fucking 1:30 this morning.
Oh,
So,
nice. Yeah, it's a great rewatch. Yeah,
It
I'm
is.
not
And
gonna clown you on that.
I haven't watched it for. It's been a while since I watched it from start to finish, like a long time, which
Yeah.
is weird for me. So
Yeah.
it's been a while. So I'm enjoying it. But
Pluribus,
yes, I will be getting the
Pluribus is
Pluribus.
great. Pluribus is great. There's something that happens last week that I cannot wait to talk about. So we're not talking about it now, of course, but I have the pictures on my phone ready to put in our notes when you do see this said
Okay.
episode.
Yeah, we'll
Because
talk.
there's
I'll be caught up by
great-
next Friday.
some
I'll
great
make sure I
stuff.
do that this week.
Excellent.
I'll make sure.
Yeah, we'll talk about that. Talk about the penultimate episode next week of that and the finale of it. Speaking of finales, there was a finale of South Park. Are you caught up on what's going on in South Park this year at all? Have you been watching these episodes?
I watched most of it. I haven't watched the last couple yet.
Okay. This last episode is a Christmas episode, as you can see, with Trump and JD Vance.
Oh, JD Vance. At first, I looked at that. I've had Kirk in my mind the entire time. But yeah, that's JD Vance.
Yeah, JD Vance is playing like the tattoo from Fantasy Island role, which is amazing in this show. But this last night's episode was a Christmas episode.
Okay.
And Satan, as you know, was pregnant this whole entire season or two.
Yep.
Ends up giving birth to the Antichrist. That's what the whole episode's about. But yeah, it doesn't actually go as planned, and some other stuff happens. So far, the show is reminding me of an updated version of what they used to do in the past. Haven't really been on that South Park front in a very long time. I'm glad I watched this and didn't give up on it, because I don't like to catch up on stuff. But South Park's one of those shows where I don't have to catch up on the older stuff before I get to watch the new seasons. I think we talked about it before. Isn't Always Sunny in Philadelphia kind of like that too, where each season's independent of itself? You don't have to really go back and binge everything before. Yeah. I think the only thing is like Mac's gay now, which when I was watching, I wasn't. Right, yeah. I don't think Mac was gay. That may be something I need to know. But
that was something I wish they just kind of kept as like a little joke, but then they went full force into it.
Oh yeah.
And now it's just dumb. Yeah. And the whole like Dennis being a psycho is also like passe, like whatever.
Yep.
It was funnier when they were alluding to him being a psycho. But,
right. Yeah. Yeah, South Park has been great. This is on Paramount now.
I was really enjoying it when I was watching it. Yep.
Yeah, it's very enjoyable. Back to kind of reminds me, reminiscing of the days of South Park of old. So, so the last thing we're going to talk about before, we're not going to review it till the very, very end, but reactions to Wake Up Dead Man. You saw this a couple of weeks ago in the theater. Did you have a chance to rewatch it today?
No, I'm watching it tonight with Discord at 9.
That's right. Yeah, you're doing a rewatch.
I do that.
I watched it this afternoon, bleeding into the afternoon. Quick reactions. We'll do a review after the news, but overall, I like these movies a lot. All of them have their best parts. Not a lot of bad parts. A lot of them have their own best parts. To me, all three of them kind of are on equal playing field.
That's exactly how I feel.
Yeah.
I'd probably give
none of them better than another.
I'd probably give a slight edge to the first one because of how fresh it felt at the time.
Yeah,
because we hadn't seen a movie like that in a while. But yeah, they're all within the 4 to 4.5 range for me, and they're all completely different of each other. I love all three. So
yeah, Agatha Christie inspired all of these. Agatha Christie books show up in every single one of them. I think even this one.
Yeah, that's when Ryan was trying to get Brick made, he was just doing random jobs on movie sets, and he would just read Agatha Christie novels the entire time because he'd have like 6 hours between setting up microphones.
Yeah, that makes perfect sense then. But yeah, so far his series have been very good, and Daniel Craig is so surprising because. Good in this, but came right out of Bond and jumped right into another franchise. Yeah. I don't think he realized how big this was going to get for him. But...
at first it wasn't a franchise; it became a franchise because of the success of it. But he's made $150 million off of these movies just by being an actor in the last two.
And two of them haven't really even been in theaters properly.
Yeah.
So
exactly.
I mean, Netflix. The Netflix thing, we talk about it all the time. We'll talk about it a little bit today in a few minutes, but yeah, it sucks that the theatrical was only in 2 weeks, if that.
It was 10 days and only
10
in
days.
AMC and Cinemark theaters, which I think Cinemark owns Alamo Drafthouse, or maybe it's in Cinemark and Alamo Drafthouse.
Okay. So yeah, we'll talk about it at the end, but it was great. And we'll get into some of the specifics and murder and who the killer was and all that later. But until then, let's get into the news. And it's not news time. Let's trail around it. Oh, by the way, there's the posters for Wake Up Dead Man. I'm slacking on the posters today. Speaking of trailers, we knew we were going to get a big one on Thursday, and we did. Supergirl. There's the poster for it right there. Truth, justice, whatever. But they had an event in New York City last weekend. They brought the press in and media outlets and social media influencers. Peter Safran, James Gunn, and Amelia Alcock all there. And a countdown came out for, I believe this is Wednesday or Tuesday, where they released the poster. This was in Times Square. In the poster there, looks awesome. Supergirl flying with a coat, reminiscent of the comic book run. I'm glad we watched. There's a couple of things. I'm glad we read the comic book for this. I know you've read it multiple times, but I'm glad
I read it again last week.
Yep. I'm glad we did it for the podcast a year ago. I have a background of what this movie is going to be about, and going into the trailer when we actually saw it gives me hope for what this movie could be. It's the very first comic book adaptation, pretty much from get-go. And the only difference is that Lobo is in this. However, I know Tom King wanted Lobo.
He was in the original book. Right. Supergirl was not selling in 2020 or 2019 when he started writing it. So they cut his order from 12 issues to 8. So he cut out an entire subsection that would have been Lobo in it.
But Jason Momoa finally found his passion project in playing Lobo. We see a very quick glimpse of him, very quick in the dark, shadowy area. That's the best picture I could find online of Lobo. We also see not Kandor. What's the other?
It's
what's their?
We were talking about this last night. It's not Kandor.
No, I can't remember what the name of it is, but it's the other bottle city. Yeah. It was the other bottle city of Krypton where Kara is from, where her whole family is from, and that's of course in the book as well. Yeah, I love that we're getting the origin of Superman somewhere other than Superman. That gave that whole entire Superman movie just his story, but we're gonna get that in this, and that's
what actually happens.
What actually happens to Krypton.
Bradley Cooper's actual character. A lot of people are complaining that she's like kind of punk rock, but like she's not like Superman. Due to the fact that she actually saw every single person she knew and loved die from radiation poisoning over the course of years when Krypton exploded. And people are freaking out about the truth, justice, whatever, instead of being the American way. Well, that was dropped in 2020 anyways. And also
there's a reason
Card has fuck all to do with America. Like that's Clark's deal. Like, and Clark actually defends the world. Like he's just raised in America. So like, but this trailer had a bunch of shots that were straight from the book. We were talking about.
There's a reason why
last night, and it was really tough to not get into the book when talking about this trailer, because a lot of stuff happens in the book. It'll be interesting to see how it is pulled off. The two criticisms I have of this trailer really are: I wish the newspaper in the beginning had a picture of Lex Luthor on it and not Superman, that the dog pees on, and of course, Krem. I wish he didn't look.
I don't like the look.
I don't like the look of a cross between Metamorpho and Taserface. But he does look menacing. I'll give him that. So they probably wanted to change it up that way. I don't know. I mean, the other dude just looked like a regular dude, but he was menacing. I think they just wanted a more menacing villain or something. I don't know.
The way they're comparing this to Guardians of the Galaxy 2, I don't think it's fair on Greg Gillespie either. Because it's not a James Gunn movie, and I think it's just because James Gunn's on the forefront of promoting all this stuff, and
he's gonna have a say in how things look.
Of course.
So I'm not too concerned. I mean, it's a
Greg
space.
Gillespie.
Like, what else are you gonna like compare a comic book space adventure to, except for Guardians? Because that's really all we've had, or that was the first that we had.
Well, before Guardians, it was Star Wars. That was it.
But I'm talking comic book movies, like from known characters.
But
yeah, it was like space opera was Star Wars. Guardians was a space opera. Green Lantern spent too much time on Earth, so I really barely don't count that. So yeah, obviously it's going to be
Right,
compared
yeah.
to Guardians. Plus, James Gunn is the studio head who did Guardians, so it is what it is. I can't wait for this movie.
I loved it. I thought the
Yeah.
trailer was perfect for what we got.
Mhm.
I think I would have had different feelings if I didn't read the comic book ahead. That's why I said I'm glad I read the comic book
Mhm.
last year. But overall, very excited for this universe. I said it from the very beginning. So yeah, awesome. Another
Yep.
thing I'm excited for, The Boys final
Yeah.
season. We got a new trailer for that as well.
When's that actually
And we got a
start?
date.
Oh.
We got a date for it. I think it's April, April
Oh,
5th or something like that. I
nice.
can't remember the exact date, but we see all the old characters coming back. Soldier Boy comes back. See all the 7 that are in there too, and Butcher and everybody, all the members of the Boys. So yeah, awesome trailer. Cannot wait to see how this ends. Brand new trailer for the 2nd season of Paradise. I was high on this show when it was out on Hulu, starring Sterling K. Brown. It's very good. This is 2nd season, comes out February 23rd. So excited for that. Got a brand new poster for a movie called The Drama, starring Zendaya and Robert Pattinson. Coming out April 3rd. Trailer is A24 romantic dramatic comedy about a couple who get engaged and are getting married. They actually put a wedding engagement announcement in the Boston Globe last week, and that's why I have a picture of that there. If I still delivered for them, I would have had it. It would have been great, but that would have been it for trailers until this morning when HBO at 8:00 decided to release their what's coming in 2026. And
Yes.
starting off, we're going to talk about something I'm very excited for. I was when I first heard about it. Larry David has a brand new limited series coming out, a sketch comedy series about American history, coming out to honor the 250th anniversary of the Declaration of Independence of America next summer. Barack and Michelle Obama are producing it. As you can see, Jerry Seinfeld is in it, and it looks like he's playing. It looks like they're playing Lewis and Clark. We also see Larry David with bull hats and everything else.
Yep. The problem with Jerry being in this is Jerry's not a very good actor
he's
at
horrible.
all. He works on the Seinfeld show because of the dynamic, and it's fine. He works completely fine in that setting. But like, of course, we saw the Pop-Tart movie a few years ago, and that was one of the biggest. You watched it too, right?
I did not watch it after your review. Okay. I believe, yeah.
That's right. You were like, I want to see. Yeah, it was fucking terrible. One of the worst movies I've ever seen in my life. Yeah. He's a terrible actor.
Yes,
so hopefully it's Larry David carrying this because I'm sure it'll be funny.
Oh yeah, it is.
Either way,
so. It'll be awesome. Seeing who cameos in it, it'd be great if Leon was in this. I mean, I don't remember. His name. But how many black roles were there back in the day? Well, they were all slaves, so that'd be interesting to see how that plays out.
Just make Leon Christopher Columbus and call it good.
Yes, that'd be amazing. It's like Hamilton, just reverse the race roles. Yeah. That's all. First look at the 2nd season of Dune Prophecy. Did you ever finish the 1st season of Dune Prophecy? I didn't either.
We both got like very 2 episodes in and gave up. It was very boring.
Yeah, very boring.
I have to be truly engaged these days with the amount of media we have at our fingertips to keep going with stuff.
I'm very much.
I love Pluribus, but I'm behind on that too. Yeah. So it's like just one of those things.
It goes with movies too. I'm very much trying to watch only what I'm really gonna like because I'm disappointed in a lot of stuff nowadays.
I'm slacking in a lot of movies. This year in particular compared to the last 2, I tried to see as many movies as possible. I think I ended up around 70 both years, but so many of those are just such bad movies that I'm just
right. What's your percentage of Oscar, like when an Oscar Best Picture nomination list comes out? What's your percentage?
I try to watch every Oscar movie once the list is announced.
What's your percentage of actual liking though of those lists of movies? What's your yearly?
Oh, usually there's like 2 Oscar movies, 2 nominations that I actually like for movie of the year.
Right, yeah.
Anywhere between 2 and, I mean, some years it might be as high as 5 now that I'm trying to see them all. Like 10 years ago, I wouldn't have the opportunity to see them all, but now with the amount of streaming services there are, like a lot of them are available before the Oscars come out.
Right.
But like I couldn't do that 10 years ago, there'd probably be 10 movies. I might have seen 1, Like the year The Dark Knight was nominated, I think I saw 2.
Right. And it seems like they're more lenient towards blockbusters than they have been in
Yes.
prior years too.
Yes.
So a lot of those movies we've already seen.
I think what they're doing is they realize that a lot of their audience doesn't watch the art house films that they try to put up for film of the year or whatever. And so I think they like having like one or two big movies, like a Black Panther that did a lot for the African American community, did a lot for that. It was spectacle, it was very well done. It was beloved, made $1 billion. So yeah, let's nominate that. I mean, why not? You have 10 movies up, so only 4 or 5 are gonna have a legit shot of winning anyways. Why not just throw a few bones in for the nerds, as long as it's a good movie?
That's like the Golden Globes doing the Cinematic Achievement Award that has all the pretty much the blockbuster awards.
But I'm like,
all just blockbuster movies.
How are you gonna name it that and then give it to a movie that doesn't make the most money? So is that just an award for the movie that makes the most? Because like, wouldn't a blockbuster achievement, like if you make $1.3 billion, but the one that wins maybe made like 800 million, wouldn't the 1.3 be a bigger box office achievement? I would think, but maybe it all depends on other things they look at it. Maybe production costs, all that stuff. I have no idea. But it's a weird category.
Well, the next thing we're going to talk about, I like The Big Bang Theory. I watched every episode of The Big Bang Theory.
Sure did.
I have not watched any of the spinoffs, but I do like these characters. He's the guy on the left there runs the comic book store in The Big Bang Theory.
Yep.
And this is a dramatic version of what happens if he fails to save the universe, called Stuart Fails to Save the Universe, with characters from The Big Bang Theory coming in to play roles in this as well. It seems like they're taking that series and making a multiversal Armageddon type of storyline. So interested to see how this turns out into a sci-fi weird epic. But the other thing, Euphoria season 3, the big thing in this trailer everybody's talking about, brand new glimpses of the cast, everybody that's coming back. Yeah, it looks great, and they released some pictures. We'll get into it in a minute. These are pictures on the right they released about an hour after.
Fez was my guy.
Yeah, that was the best part of that.
He's the only reason I kept watching, because other than him, every other character made me feel icky.
Yeah, there's very, very dark show.
You're a grown man watching this shit with. I mean, I know they're not actually high schoolers, but just it gives you the ick.
Right. Yeah. Richard Gadd, who did Baby Reindeer last year, which was amazing, coming back to HBO to do a limited series called Half Man, and they released some new pictures of that. Jamie Bell's in that. Who was the Thing in the Fantastic Four stick movie. And we got a brand new look at the House of Dragons season 3 coming out next summer. And we get a very first glimpse of Ormond Hightower, who has been, I think since season 1, has been mentioned a few times.
Yes.
One of the Hightower
He's
children.
He's very similar to like, not in character, but what's his name that shows up in season 4, Oberyn Martell, who they talk about for like 3 seasons before he shows up.
Yep. And to finalize the trailer, the last 15 seconds, we get our first glimpse of lanterns. We see no CGI really, but we see some chase. We see Hal Jordan putting a ring on a dashboard and pretty much telling Jon Stewart to fly out of the car as he flies off a ravine. And that's where the trailer leaves off. I cannot wait to see him fly out of that car. It's gonna be awesome. I like you mentioned with the original Green Lantern movie being set on Earth. I hope we see more space in this.
I don't think we will. I
don't think we will either.
I think we will in whatever comes afterwards with the lanterns. I don't see us going to space much in this show. So maybe a little in the beginning when they go to Earth, and maybe at the end. I don't know, but they could. I mean, it might end up being the last episode. It could be a battle in space.
I will say the casting on this is probably the best casting they've done throughout the whole entire DCU so far.
I think all the casting's been great. I think Millie's great at Supergirl.
This particularly
is great, but this is. I mean, it depends though, because a lot of people are still mad that Hal Jordan is old. But I think Kyle Chandler is going to do a great job. I understand though, like it would have been cool to have a prime Hal and a prime John, but they can always go back and tell stories in the 90s that take place with Hal Jordan when he's in his prime,
Yeah. So. HBO released this right after this trailer dropped, and what was dropping today, a whole list of stuff, hour by hour throughout the afternoon of what was going to drop. We got some pictures. Those pictures from Euphoria came at 9 o'clock this morning. Got another picture from House of Dragons, some more pictures of that. Announcement of a new season of Heated Rivalry. I don't even know what that is. Knights of the Seven Kingdoms. Something came out at 2 p.m. on that. So everybody's saying, "Oh, Lanterns at 4 p.m. Are we getting a trailer at 4?" Well, we didn't. As Kevin mentioned in a text to me, it was a Rickroll. It was a teaser of the teaser that aired earlier on Instagram, teasing what the date is going to be for the actual teaser trailer / trailer that they bleeped out. We don't even know what the date is yet. So, hopefully we'll know in the new year. Probably not too soon after the new year starts. We'll know more about that. But let's get into the weekend box office last week. Five Nights at Freddy's. Horrible reviews for that movie. It was like a 3 out of 10 on IGN, but it was worse everywhere else. 63 million, number one. Kids love that though. Zootopia 2, second week, 43 million, and Wicked for Good, number 3, was 16.7 million.
How much does it hurt you that you haven't been able to see this yet?
Pretty bad, but also like I mentioned last year when I reviewed Wicked, all the best parts were in the first movie.
Right.
So that's pretty much what everybody's saying about the second movie. It's good, it just doesn't touch a candle to the first because there's not those big ballads that were in the first movie. Welcome to Derry hit a series high for episode 7 with 5.8 million viewers. I think it's going to go above 6, maybe it could even up to 7 this weekend, just with the hype of everybody talking about it this week. We'll talk about that next week. So let's get into second week of Warner Brothers, Netflix / Paramount. Donald Trump says he would be involved in the decision on whether Netflix should buy Warner Brothers.
Because that's who I want making my decisions.
The big problem we had with this from the very get-go is government control of Paramount, controlling Warner Brothers, controlling the narrative of what the American government narrative is going to be coming out to the American public. Not a fan of that. Netflix turning around after all the backlash of them fucking with the theatrical releases, made a quoted announcement saying when this deal closes, we are in the theatrical business and we're going to do it. We didn't just buy this company to destroy that value. That was Ted Sarandos from Netflix talking about kind of the backlash of everything happening over there. We'll wait and see what happens 5 years from now when that changes to what we talked about last week. But Ted Sarandos also says movies like Barbie and Oppenheimer would have been just as big on Netflix. Not money-wise. I don't think he's talking about money-wise. I think he's talking about the word of mouth and people seeing it, and Barbieheimer and all that. There's no reason to believe that this movie itself is better than on any size screen for all people. This was released. I don't know if this was released last week, but you can't contradict yourself from another statement you made earlier in the week.
Ted Sarandos is the way that they judge things is by the first 5 minutes and how many people watch that, and then they double it because they assume 2 people are watching at the same time. That's where they get their numbers. They literally told Zack Snyder that his movie, had it been in theaters due to the amount of views it got on Netflix, would have made more money than Barbie.
Okay. Wow.
Ted Sarandos is kind of a nut job that's their business model. That's how they think of it when they want to green light more stuff. Is they look at the number, they double it, and they figure out, okay, is this worth getting into another season or another movie for or not? Netflix is too analytical, and I don't like it. Like, baseball's analytical. Yeah. We both love Moneyball, but it's kind of ruining why I love baseball to begin with. But it is what it is. It's the future. I mean, streaming's coming. I just hope the theaters aren't gone for good within 20 years.
10 years. You're giving it way too much time.
I know.
COVID killed it, and I think the nail in the coffin is something like this. But Writers Guild came out and made a statement about it. SAG-AFTRA made a statement about it. The world's largest streaming company swallowing one of the biggest competitors is what antitrust laws were designed to prevent. That's the big thing that's coming out of this. There's no way the government's going to pass this, especially with Trump against it for Paramount. If Netflix, the double standard here is retarded. If Netflix gets denied this and Paramount gets past this, it's the same exact fucking thing. Mm-hmm. You got one big, huge company swallowing up another company. Paramount's no better than Netflix. Paramount, the only difference is they want to continue the theatrical model, where Netflix is kind of iffy if they say they do, but damn well they don't want to.
Yeah, you never know. I mean, as of right now, everything coming out of Warner Brothers, no matter who owns it, up until 2030 has to be theatrical because they already have deals in place for that.
They have deals, yeah.
So we'll see what happens after that.
Yep. But after all this, we said it last week, there was going to be a hostile takeover bid, and that's exactly what Paramount did this week. They launched a hostile takeover right directly to the board members of the board. Individually trying to go after them to get at least 24% of the vote. And the amount of value, I think they did another $28 billion for the whole entire thing of Warner Brothers. So Warner Brothers would not be split up. All the cable networks would stay with Paramount, would not be another conglomerate that they could go sell off somewhere else, Warner Brothers. They want the whole entire enchilada. And they promised they're going to release 30 films in theaters as it launches. And also talked about, and we talked about it before, but a lot of that money, 24 billion of it, is coming from the Middle East. 1 billion is coming from China. And Jared Kushner, the son-in-law to Donald Trump, is a private equity firm in charge of all of this. So the writing's on the wall there. We talked about it last week. We talked about it this week. There's some government stuff going on here. David Ellison, we talked about him as well. Don't like the guy. Allegedly offered assurances to Trump administration officials that if he bought Warner Brothers, he would make major changes to CNN for them. And that was the whole thing with the fake news and everything. All has to do with that. Everybody just watch how this turns out. It's a political move, which sucks. But who made the better offer? Netflix, we talked about last week, 82.7 billion. And all they wanted was HBO Max, Warner Brothers Pictures, games and television for $27.75 a share with all cash and stock. Paramount offered $108 billion for everything. HBO Max, Discovery Plus, HBO, all the Warner Brothers stuff that Netflix is going to have, and then some. If Paramount takes over Warner Brothers, they're going to own Paramount Studios, CBS, CNN, MTV, HBO, Comedy Central, Nickelodeon, Cartoon Network, Warner Brothers DC, Fandango, New Line Cinema, TBS, TNT, a whole bunch of other stuff. They're going to be huge. The biggest media company besides like Disney, maybe. They're going to be gigantic. And they just say their all cash offer is superior. And they're going to make Hollywood stronger. And Netflix is saying that it's worth more. They don't think that the cable part is worth what Ellison's willing to pay. So we'll have to wait and see on that. We didn't talk about Comcast. Whatever happened to the deal with Universal? Yeah. Pretty much after they talked about it, the Mike Cavanaugh, who's the president of Comcast, said that their offer was just light on cash, and Netflix and Paramount were just going crazy with the rivalry going back and forth. That Comcast just backed out of it. And from the beginning, I wanted to see Universal just because I thought Universal made more sense as far as the theme park part of it and bringing in the DCIP. But also with all this going on, the other rumor out of all that stuff, we're done talking about that. But the other rumor, Warner Brothers, was rumored to make a deal with Universal Studios to bring their DC Comics IP into new attractions at the Universal theme parks. And if you know the Universal theme park, especially the one in Orlando, in the Islands of Adventure, there's a Marvel World. In Orlando, Marvel's now owned by Disney, and it would be great to see those in Disney, but you can't have those particular characters in Disney World Park. So the rumor is that they're going to close down the Islands of Adventure Marvel Hero Park, and they're going to do a DC Studios inspired not just from the comic books but the movies of IP coming in the next 10 15 years. They cut out the whole Marvel world and give it back to Disney, I guess. But and talking about building life-size blocks of Metropolis, Gotham that people can walk through, and having that comic book world brought to life, kind of like they did with Harry Potter. They want to do that for DC. I think that's the James Gunn thing, because James Gunn's talked about doing the kind of a cross promotion for everything. Like we're going to talk about it a little bit later, but when that Lego movie was announced, that's a legacy of pretty much every DC Batman movie brought into this game all in one. We'll talk about it in a little bit because a new trailer and release date came out of that. But Yeah, I hope that happens. I would love to see Marvel go back to Disney and them do something with that property. But
Mhm.
just what they've done with Harry Potter, it would be great to see a DC inspired world at Universal Studios. It'd be awesome. But Trump also talked about an admin regulator says that Warner Brothers is far more likely to collect its $5.8 billion breakup fee than getting this deal through. Everybody behind the scenes is saying this is not going to pass the regulatory process. So yeah, and Donald Trump is kind of staying in between them, talking in interviews about it, and if he's kind of withholding judgment is what he's saying. But and there's a somebody in Las Vegas who has sued Netflix over the $72 billion Warner Brothers deal as a subscriber to HBO Max, saying that they're doing something. It's some sort of a class action lawsuit. I don't know, but it took the news this week. And all of this to be said that Jimmy Kimmel signed a new extension with Disney that keeps him in ABC through 2027. So what is going on with everything there? I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
With Trump related to all of this, I have no idea. Yeah, I'm just gonna stop talking about it now because it's very irritating to have something like this being a political chess move. I don't like it at all. But yeah, Disney invested $1 billion to open AI. We talked about Sora. I don't know if we talked about the podcast, but I talked with Sora, the AI app, a while ago. And you can't use any likeness of anything. Well, you can now with Disney. They inked a $1 billion deal with Zora in particular to be able to use their characters. I believe 20 characters they picked that you can use on their app and do AI inspired videos of. When that first came out, it was the Wild West for like a weekend, where there was a lot of wrestling videos came out of Martin Luther King in a WWF ring, fighting Malcolm X and all that stuff. Well, now you can use actual characters from Disney. It's going to be the new thing. And you're going to be seeing a lot of this. I think it'll be... AI is scary to begin with, but when you start having studios giving the permission for it, it's even scarier. But yeah. And the Golden Globe nominations came out. That's going to air, I believe. I have it at the bottom here. I'll get to it in a minute. But Best Motion Picture, Frankenstein, Hamnet, The Secret Agent, It Was Just an Accident, Sentimental Values, and Sinner. The only two I've seen are Frankenstein and Sinners.
Same.
I love Sinners. Probably my favorite movie of the year.
Still mine.
That and Weapons, yeah. Best Motion Picture, Comedy Musical, Blue Moon, No Other Choice, Begonia, Marty Supreme, One Battle After Another. I've only seen One Battle After Another, and it was a good movie.
I don't think Marty Supreme's out for us yet. It's
not even out yet.
They just showed it for critics. I think it might come out Thursday with Avatar.
Oh, okay,
comes out soon.
Best Actor in a Motion Picture. The only one we've seen is Oscar Isaac, Michael B. Jordan in Sinners, Dwayne Johnson in Smashing Machine, and Jeremy Allen White. We haven't seen the movie yet, but
Springsteen come out yet?
From nowhere. Not on digital, but it's been in theaters for like 2 months.
I knew it was in theaters, yeah.
Best Actor in a Musical Comedy. The only one we've seen is One Battle After Another with Leo. I almost watched Jay Kelly. Jay Kelly came out on Netflix this week. I almost watched it. George Clooney and Adam
can't remember.
Sandler.
Is Begonia on the Plex? I think it is.
It is. Yep.
Okay.
Yep. Speaking of that, also Running Man comes out on Tuesday. That's
nice.
Maybe on the Plex as well.
Yeah.
It may be on the Plex already. How did that happen? Motion Picture, Best Actress in a Drama. We haven't seen any of those movies. We haven't seen any of the other ones for musical comedy. Best Screenplay.
One Battle After Another we saw.
Oh yeah, Chase Infinity. Who is that? I don't even know who that is. No idea. Is she the girl? She must be the daughter.
So, yeah,
she was
really good.
Best Screenplay. Paul Thomas Anderson, One Battle After Another. Ryan Coogler for Sinners. I wanted to mention that. Original score, Sinners. I think that should win. That's a great score. Best Director. Ryan Coogler, Paul Thomas Anderson, Guillermo del Toro. All big names.
A tough category. I mean, my heart obviously wants Ryan. I think Del Toro is going to win.
Yeah. I can see
in
that
my heart,
too.
I want Coogler to win.
Yeah.
Actually, if this was the Oscars, I think it would be more definitively that I want Coogler to win, but I think
Yeah.
Del Toro will win the Oscar. But granted, I haven't seen Begonia or any of those other ones, but yeah, I think Del Toro has a bigger chance.
Best
God damn
TV
it, Coogler
series
was great.
drama. He's great. Yeah, that whole movie from top to bottom was
So
great.
good.
Best TV series drama, Severance and Pluribus, two of my favorite shows this year, nominated. Best comedy series, musical, Abbott Elementary, The Bear. Wrong category for The Bear. We say it every year. I'm going to continue saying it. Wrong category. Only Murders in the Building and The Studio. I think out of all those, The Studio is the best show on that.
And
on that
I forgot to mention this when we were talking about the trailer, but isn't the girl that plays Ruthie in the show Severance?
I don't think so.
Oh, I saw somebody
know.
mention it online yesterday that it was a girl from Severance.
But
I haven't watched Severance, so I don't know.
There's not too many children in that. You haven't seen Severance, so that's a great fucking show.
I tried it. It got boring and I stopped.
Oh my god. Yeah, get into it. It's awesome. Best performance of a male actor. Best performance of a male actor in television series. Sterling K. Brown for Paradise. Diego Luna for Andor. Great in that. Gary Oldman, Slow Horses. I hear that's great. Adam Scott in Severance. Best performance of a female actress in a drama. Britt Lauer from Severance. Bella Ramsey, The Last of Us. Helen Mirren in Mobland. Great show. And Rhea Seehorn from Pluribus. The whole season hasn't even aired yet. They're all being nominated.
They've probably seen it, though, is my guess.
The best performance from a male actor in a comedy: Steve Martin, Martin Short, Seth Rogen for The Studio, Glenn Powell for Chad Powers. Crazy that he was nominated for that. And Jeremy Allen White for The Bear. And best female actor in a musical comedy: Io Idibri from The Bear. I don't know how to say her last name. Selena Gomez for Only Murders, Jenna Ortega in Wednesday, and Jean Smart for Hack. She always wins that. I wouldn't be surprised if she does as well. Not going to get into supporting. Not going to get into limited. Best cinematic box office achievement. These are the Blockbuster Awards. Avatar, Fire and Ash, hasn't even been out yet. F1, K-pop Demon Hunters. I don't even think that was in theaters, maybe twice, 2 weekends. Mission Impossible, The Final Reckoning, Sinners, Weapons, Wicked for Good, and Zootopia 2. If they give Sinners the big award of the night, I could see this being given to another movie, maybe K-pop Demon Hunters, just because of the hype that movie had.
Yep.
And Avatar, Fire and Ash, if they want to lick what's his name's ass, but yeah, who knows. Best performance in a stand-up comedy or on television: Bill Maher, Brett Goldstein, Kevin Hart, Nikhil Najami, Ricky Gervais, Sarah Silverman. Best podcast: Armchair Expert Dax Shepard, Call Her Daddy. Good hang with that Amy Poehler. Everybody talks about that podcast. I've seen clips. It's okay. I like Amy Poehler, but Mel Robbins podcast, Smartless up first. Oh, that's weird. We weren't listed. You know who else wasn't listed? Joe Rogan, probably the biggest podcast in the world, wasn't listed, and then none of the political podcasts, Charlie Kirk podcast, none of those were
obviously
listed.
Yeah.
Wicked. Well, still, he had a podcast before he died, but
I know,
none
but
of them were listed.
I don't think they're. It doesn't seem like they're into anything that gets into anything political, which Joe Rogan does all the time,
or controversial, or anything.
Yeah.
Superman, Wicked for Good. Jacob Elordi scored a double nomination, but Wicked for Good and Superman were not nominated for any for much. Best Picture nod. Superman was excluded from the cinematic and box office achievement race. So, and Stranger Things shut out the Golden Globe nominations completely. Speaking of Stranger Things, got brand new posters for them, character posters leading up to the Volume 2 coming out at the end of the month. Very excited for that. Did you end up catching up on the new season?
Yeah,
the one that came out during Thanksgiving. 2
episodes left. I'm doing it one every week and a half, so that then when the new ones come out, whatever Christmas Day, I can watch them throughout the week again.
Perfect. I did not know that Guy Ritchie is making a young Sherlock based off the movies that he did, but he's making a young Sherlock TV series.
Oh, nice!
Following younger versions of the characters that were played by Jude Law and Robert Downey Jr. in those 2 movies, but.
Nice.
Going to be set during the 1870s, releasing on Prime Video in 2026. We got some very first looks pictures of them. Looks like Colin Firth is in there too. So yeah. Brand new picture of Godzilla in the second season of Monarch: Legacy of Monsters, coming out sometime next year. And Sigourney Weaver is circling a role in the Tomb Raider, a remake adaptation for Amazon TV. Sigourney Weaver knows. Who did we talk about? Oh, Jennifer Lawrence, who knows how to pick sci-fi roles. So does nobody talks about Sigourney Weaver, but she's been in every single sci-fi, pretty much every single sci-fi. She's in
Star Wars too. Yeah. Oh, she is going to be Star Wars.
Star Wars. She's in Mando. Yeah.
Yep.
Yep. You ever watch Pushing Daisies, the TV series?
I did not.
It's great. Only saw the first season. Didn't get into the second one because I got canceled. But it's about a guy who runs a morgue, and if he touches a dead body, they come to life, and he has 1 minute to decide if he wants to bring this person back to life, or if he has to touch them again, and they go back and they die. If he doesn't touch them within 1 minute, somebody in the surrounding area dies. Cool, weird premise. Lasted for 2 seasons, but not a lot of people watched it. And the creator of that, Brian Fuller, is talking about bringing back a 3rd season. He's been talking about it for a while. I guess all the scripts are written for it. This is a pretty good show. As Lee Pace, who played Ronan in the Guardians of the Galaxy movie, Kristen Chenoweth, who did the Glinda role in Wicked.
Lee Pace was in it. Okay.
That's where I got to start.
He's been a popular Batman fan cast.
Yep. Yeah. For probably since
and
he
was in Guardians 2, I believe, also.
Yeah, he's in Guardians 1. Yeah, he played Ronan. Yep.
Yeah. Oh, 1. Okay. Yeah.
Yep. WWE Unreal released their date January 2nd for the 2nd season. January 20th for the 2nd season. Going to be tackling pretty much SummerSlam and everything last summer. So yeah. And we got a brand new poster and some pictures for Ted season 2 coming out March 5th. Brand new date for that. And Ted playing D&D. I can't wait for that either. Also a brand new picture of the cast of Super Troopers 3. Super Troopers 2 sucked. Super Troopers 1 classic. Bringing back a lot of the cast from the first one. I believe Brian Cox is coming back as a police chief, who was a great part of the first movie. So cannot wait for that. Delayed 2 months is the Simpsons 2 movie coming out on Labor Day of 2027 now. So yep. Empire released a magazine cover featuring Peaky Blinders, The Immortal Man, with some new pictures of the movie as well, with Killian and I don't have any water over here. I'm hiccuping like crazy. And Rebecca Ferguson from Mission Impossible. So yeah. Where are we at? Speaking of Killian, 28 years later, a sequel to that is rumored to be taking place 28 years later, 3. And it's going to star Cillian Murphy. He's in talks to star in it. Alex Garland's going to be penning this one as well. Rave reviews for The Bone Temple that's coming out in January, the beginning of January. So everybody's talking about how awesome it is.
Yep.
And I know there's been talk about him making a cameo in that for years, and I guess he is in it. So yeah, he's continuing that role of him being the survivor of the apocalypse. We'll have to wait and see how that pans out. Russell Crowe's finally talking about Gladiator 2. He's not talking poetically about it. He didn't really like it. He didn't like the idea of being a really unfortunate example of the creative team not understanding what made the first one special. So he's kind of bashing it. But yeah. Jennifer Lawrence and Josh Hutcherson are going to return for the Hunger Games Sunrise of the Reaping, and during the flashback scenes or flash forward scenes of that origin story. Excited for that. I like those movies with Jennifer Lawrence. Tom Cruise, the SpaceX NASA movie he was going to be filming in space, has been completely canceled. I believe it had something to do with Paramount. And he didn't want to go straight to Trump and do the political move to get it made, so he just backed out of it completely. He's in his mid-60s now, maybe early 60s,
like 61, I think, 62.
Yeah. So yeah, he just doesn't want to deal with it. I'm not surprised. And a poster in Times Square in New York of whatever the Spielberg sci-fi space movie is going to be started showing up last week or earlier this week. coming out next summer in June, but all will be disclosed. Spielberg and just an eye, and it looks like a raven or something, or a bird silhouette there. Who knows? Coming out next summer sometime though. And audiences this weekend started to be treated with a 6-minute prologue of the Odyssey. Were you able to watch it before it was taken down on Twitter?
No, I was not.
You haven't seen it.
I'm not interested in seeing it. I mean,
Yeah,
like,
you
I'd
probably
see,
want to
like,
wait. It's very grainy.
like, I would see it like if I was going to IMAX, I'd be interested. But I wouldn't be interested in looking at a capture on someone's phone that's gonna be taken down. You know.
Yep, it is playing in front of Sinners and One Battle After Another in the 70mm IMAX. And I think it's gonna be out next week when Avatar: Fire and Ash is released. But
Nice.
yeah, so that and Avengers we'll talk about at the end. But yeah, Street Fighter. Last night was the Game Awards, Video Game Awards. Talk about a little bit about that. I watched the highlights on Instagram and Twitter, but I got the whole entire cast of what they're going to look like. It looks straight out of a 90s video game.
Looks like a fun video game.
Yep.
Adaptation.
Just like Mortal Kombat was. Yep. Just like Mortal Kombat was a couple years ago. We're getting this and Mortal Kombat in the same year, so that's exciting. And the 007 First Light game, which I'm glad they've actually taken the time and love to this 007 franchise. Hired in great actors, brought in Lenny Kravitz to play the villain. Set in Florida by the looks of it.
I got a funny story about this as this was going down last night. I was watching it with the kids.
Yep.
And so Kravitz comes out and somebody goes, "Who's this guy?" And somebody else goes, "That's Zoe Kravitz's dad." And then somebody else goes, "She's a Nepo baby?" Part of me died inside. I was like, are you guys trolling me because I'm old? Because Lenny Kravitz has like one of the most popular songs of all time in American Woman. Like
American Woman, Are You Gonna Go My Way?
Yeah, like he has literally the guy has how many like awards? Like
yeah.
I'm just like, oh my god.
Yeah.
That's just the song that always comes to mind when I think of him is American Woman. But yeah.
He joined the voice cast. Game is coming out March 27th. It's currently on pre-order now on Xbox and PS5. 4.
I don't know which system to get it for.
Yeah, I don't know.
I might get it for the Switch because I just played the Hitman games on the Switch, or I'm playing them also. And that controller is like perfect for that type of game. And I've already told you that's like my favorite controller anyway. So, but yeah,
Lego Batman: Legacy of the Dark Knight. I got a date for that of May 29th, 2026. See if that stays or not. But that's going to be talked about it before. It's going to be a love letter to all the Batman before it. Trail looked awesome. They're remaking the very first Tomb Raider video game from the 90s. And they're using all brand new technology for it. It looks like a game that came out today, but it was that game remastered, reprogrammed to look more like a Uncharted game than anything else. Looked really, really good. And a couple of Star Wars surprises. We got a brand new pod racing game called Galactic Racer, bringing back Sebulba from the Phantom Menace. But yeah, crazy. I don't think anybody knew about this, but it's podcasting in a new world. Great graphics, so we'll have to wait and see on that. But the big thing coming out of this is a spiritual sequel to the Knights of the Old Republic called Fate of the Old Republic. They're saying this game may not come out for another 4 years, maybe longer. This is just kind of the introduction of what they're working on. They are going to be doing a remake of the original Knights of the Old Republic games. I'm not sure if they're going to be bringing it into the modern day world with new graphics, new technology. But this is going to be a continuation and a brand new story directed by the same guy who created those two games. So yeah, it's going to be epic when it comes out. It's going to be RPG, of course, but it's what everybody wanted pretty much is a sequel to that game for ages, and they did announce it last night, so that's awesome. Brand new popcorn bucket for Godzilla. Is it loading? No, it's not.
No,
brand new popcorn bucket for Godzilla 70th anniversary.
Yep.
What are they doing with these popcorn buckets? Way too many.
Yep, but you know what? They're fun to display.
Yeah. Let's get into some swag.
Swag. Stuff we all get.
Come on, son. You know that's right.
Anakin fighting Obi-Wan on Mustafar. A diorama looks awesome with the lava in the background splashing up, fighting with the lightsabers on the barge. It looks awesome. Very, very cool. Also, I think we've talked about it before. We're going to get a better glimpse of the Silver Surfer with cosmic powers all surrounding him. Looked awesome as well. But absolute Batman, absolute Superman. We'll talk about this. I know you're into the comic books. You're currently reading them. But Iron Studios coming out with these awesome statues of absolute Batman and absolute Superman.
Yep.
Do you see the Superman one? Is that a Peacemaker helmet in front of him?
Yeah, I told you the entire first arc is him fighting peacemakers. Like there's an entire peacemaker army that he's fighting in the first
amazing.
Arc. Yeah, the peacemakers work for the government. And there is one named Chris, so Chris is like the leader, Chris Smith. And then there's other just peacemakers. There's like hundreds of them. They're like the army for the U.S.
Everybody talks about Batman. That's the one everybody talks about, and we get some close-up looks of that and the weapon and the axe that he carries. A lot of people are talking about that run more than anything right now.
Hold on a second, let me see if it's right here. It might be. Yep. I still haven't read it. But the Joker came out today or this week.
Yeah, that's awesome. Comic that I'm interested in. I know Marvel and DC are currently doing their run of comic books. But these are all the covers for the crossovers for Superman coming out. Believe the beginning or middle of next year. I don't know when this comes out.
I think they're aiming for spring. I think spring. But yeah,
but the one cover,
the Daredevil,
the one cover,
the Batman and Deadpool one's really good so far.
The one cover I wanted is the one that I posted there of Black Suit Spider-Man and Black Suit Superman. And you know my feelings on Black Suit Superman. Even in my feelings on Black Suit Spider-Man, my favorite of the two. So yeah, I want that cover. And Absolute Batman Absolute Comics. I have that in the wrong spot. James Gunn and Peter Safran addressed Warner Brothers' sale to Netflix. And their contracts get extended till 2027. They addressed it by not really addressing it. I don't know why they said that, but Nicholas Hoult confirmed Superman sequel Man of Tomorrow starts filming in April, and he's read the script. But he says it's awesome. Excited for that. Saw this today. I don't know if you ended up seeing it or talked about it anywhere.
I was wondering if you had it in the notes. Cool.
Brad Pitt rumored to be in talks for the Batman Part 2 as an antagonist, possibly Dr. Arkham. Wouldn't that be what's his name? Not Dr. Arkham, but I guess Dr. Arkham is the doctor, but who's the psychiatrist I'm thinking of that's
Aziz?
No. The psychiatrist that's in
not Scarecrow.
No. Psychiatrist. He's in the second Batman Arkham City game. He's the bad guy. I can't remember his name off the top of my head, of course. With the glasses and the goatee.
Isn't it Dr. Zaz?
No, that's no. There's no. Shit.
He's got. Yeah, you're right. I forget who that is, but the one thing that worries me.
Hugo Strange.
Yes. The one thing that worries me about Brad Pitt being in this movie is like, I would say he's one of the most recognizable faces on the planet, and I think it might distract. So hopefully, whatever part he's up for is going to use a lot of prosthetics or something.
Oh my God, Brad Pitt as Mr. Freeze.
Yeah, could you imagine? And that way you could have tons of prosthetics and
the flashback
and my ScarJo prediction.
Yeah, because she's frozen in time in a bottle, and she could be from 20 years ago. And wow, we just wrote this movie, didn't we? Wow. Venom co-creator says he thinks Alan Ritchson would make the perfect live-action Eddie Brock. When I saw this going around on Twitter, I was like, Jesus Christ, he is born to play Eddie Brock, the comic book version of Eddie Brock. He looks just like him size-wise. I'm all for that in the MCU. If it happens, who knows? But yeah. Finally, in news, coming out next week, playing before Avatar, is the Avengers Doomsday trailer. Rumor came out today there's going to be 4 different trailers releasing on a weekly basis, each trailer around 1 minute. I know that the one that's coming out next week is 1 minute 27. It's going to be attached to Avatar, that one. But the big rumor that came out was Doctor Doom is reportedly, first of all, the movie is set up as a direct sequel to Endgame, and Doctor Doom is reportedly after Steve Rogers in the movie, which makes me think when Steve Rogers is putting back all of those stones and the hammer and all of that, Doctor Doom infiltrates him during those travels through the multiverse and puts a stop to it and maybe kidnaps him or something. Because the rumor has always been that Steve Rogers, Chris Evans is in this movie. He's denying it, but the Hollywood Reporter, Variety, all reported he's back and filmed for this movie, but he's denying it, and everybody else is denying it. So that'd be interesting to see if they actually continue that story that was played at the end of Endgame with him and trying to return the stones. But,
question for you.
Yeah, what's up?
I didn't bring it up because I just assumed the answer would be no. But I will let you know I did get my ticket to Avatar next Thursday at 2 p.m.
Okay, let's do it.
If you want to join me, I'll tell you my seat location. You just get the one next to me. There's no one there right now. So,
yeah, we'll do it after. We'll do it after we get off of here.
Cool. I just wanted to check before I forgot.
I may do a double feature, and I may watch Wicked,
that and Wicked
as well.
It's a hell of a double. That's a hell of a double feature. Have fun.
Well, yeah, we'll see. Again, I might.
Yeah, you might have to wait until after Avatar to see if you can do another movie.
Or go early. We'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see if it works out or not. But that's it for the news. Let's jump into our spoiler review for Wake Up Dead Man. Going off the cuff, I have no notes for this, but I love this movie. I love the casting of this movie. What's the kid's name? I had it on the top of my head at the beginning of the show, but I already forgot it.
The one from the tennis movie?
Yes.
I have no idea. He's
Josh. I don't know. I don't even want to say it.
He's fantastic.
But he carried this movie.
Awesome.
Yeah, he carried it. He's awesome.
One thing I want to say about this movie is the thing that surprised me the most is Benoit Blanc doesn't even show up till like the end of the first act. Like it's like these other characters.
Yeah, the main kid who plays the priest, he leads the whole entire movie. Josh Brolin is the one that gets murdered. I thought he was great. For the quick scenes that we saw in him, the mystery of this whole entire thing of who killed him played out well. It was not Helen Mirren, the other old Glenn Close, right?
Glenn Close, yes.
Yeah, she's the one that ends up killing him. She's kind of the his assistant at the church, but which I saw a mile away. Jeremy Renner, great in this.
So awesome. Yep.
Thinking Wilson, who's in this cast, is great. Mila Kunis plays a police officer in
this cast was a good balance of people that we know, but not too many like Glass Onion almost had too many people we know. This one had a good mix of like older actors that we know, younger up and coming actors, and then people like Mila Kunis is in it. And
I don't remember his name, but he played Moriarty in the Sherlock movie, Sherlock TV show with Benedict Cumberbatch, but he played the author. He's great in this, but he wasn't in it much.
Yep.
Yeah, he's good as Moriarty in Sherlock. Trying to think who else was in this. It's just a great movie, great overall. The mystery of it all.
Really enjoyed it. Can't wait to watch it again tonight because, like I said, I mean, first time I watched it, I was like, felt like the goddamn president of the United States up in that theater. But I can't wait to watch it again tonight. It's a fun watch.
Yep. Like you said, 4.5 for these movies. For me, this is a 4. I think the first one's probably a 4.5 for me.
I'm giving it a 4.5. 4. The last 2 4s. All very good, but I mean, they're all like very interchangeable. Like they're just a good time. Throw it on, have some fun.
Yep.
Yeah.
Very, very good movie. And can't wait to see where this franchise goes. Ryan, this is definitely, I like him doing this. Rian Johnson, I like him doing this. I don't like him doing Star Wars. And I've said that forever. I know you have different feelings for that.
I would like him to do his own Star Wars that he pitched, and they had him do Episode 8 instead. But
maybe 5 years ago, not now. I don't want to see that. Yeah, I think it's too late for him.
I mean, much like we got a good thing because he didn't do Star Wars. We got Knives Out, just like we got a good thing when the 2 guys were fired for halfway through Solo. Is we got the Spider-Man animated movies because they were fired from Solo. So good things happen sometimes. If you're good enough creatively, then stuff like that's not going to affect your career. and Ryan Johnson's killing it right now. I do hope he takes a break before he does another Knives Out, but and does like something else and then goes back to Knives Out. But yeah, I love these movies, and I hope they continue forever if he has ideas for them.
Yeah, a lot of inspiration from Agatha Christie, so there's obviously inspirations up the wazoo for that. But that's it for the show this week. Next week's gonna be our final show of the year. Do you have your list of best of pretty much on the I know you have your movies on Letterboxd and
I'll be able to figure
TV
it out.
shows. Yeah, we'll do that next week.
I'll
We'll do
probably
the best
do
of the year.
My in depth will be before the Oscars. I'll do my actual like top 5.
Yeah.
But next week I should be I'll do top and bottom 5 probably.
Yeah, we'll do the year in review next week. It's our last episode of the year. We'll talk about the finale, Welcome to Derry. Episode 8, Pluribus. You'll be caught up, hopefully. That comes out Thursday night. That's the penultimate episode of that. On the 17th, which is 5 days from now, I think Wednesday, Fallout Season 2 premieres on Prime. 2 or 3 episodes, I can't remember. Still looking for that Nevermore Raven documentary. Still missing. MIA. Jay Kelly, George Clooney, Adam Sandler. That is currently on Netflix. I started watching it, but I just did not have time today to finish it. We're going to review Running Man for sure. I'm going to watch it probably this weekend. Avatar. We are going to watch that. We are going to review that. I'm also going to review Wicked for Good. That is decided on the podcast today. John Cena's final match happens tomorrow night. Going to talk about that. Saturday night's main event. And our Christmas movie, Mount Rushmore. We haven't done any Christmas movies this year. We're waiting till next week to talk about our Mount Rushmore, our top 4 Christmas movies. And I'm also going to bring up some underrated Christmas movies that I love. Not a lot of people talk about. Can
we include Christmas specials, or should we do maybe separate
TV too?
Well, that's what I mean, like the Charlie Brown Christmas special, like the TV stuff that are only like half hour or 45 minutes. Like, should we can we include those in our list of overall movies, or should I just maybe do like an honorable mentions of like just a couple of the specials? That's what I'll do.
Yeah, we'll mention some
Because
specials.
there's so much stuff from when you grew up, like The Grinch is like it's a half an hour. Like we can't rate that with the other movies, you know.
Yeah, we can do that. Honorable mentions for TV. We can do that definitely.
Cool.
But yeah, until then, we'll have a Christmas spectacular next week. A bunch of reviews. Knock out the year, and we'll come back in a couple of weeks and talk about the new year. So, thanks everybody, and we will talk to you next week. Peace.
We're the Geek Blurb crew, here to enlighten you. Talking all things geeky, from movies to wrestling to our podcast is the place where you want to be for all the latest news and nostalgia from the 80s and 90s. We review comic book flicks and sci-fi hits, riding the wave of action movies with all the cool bits. From Iron Man to Star Wars, we cover it all. And when it comes to wrestling, we never drop the ball. Geek Blurb, we're the kings of the nerds, rating movies and pineapples, our opinions never blurred. Join us each week for a geeky chat with the latest news and a dose of nostalgia that. So if you're a fan of the comic book craze, or a lover of sci-fi and all its maze, tune in to Geek Blurb. We're here to entertain, bringing you the best things.